my lovelies. Today I am doing yet another Coach handbag review. If you have been here for a hot minute, you know that I love my Coach handbags, and today I have I think it's the newest model, it's the Brooklyn. So I bought the smaller size first and then I just got the larger size in as well because I enjoyed the smaller one so much. So I thought we could kind of compare a little bit. So this is the first one I bought, and I'm not entirely unwrapping this one because I don't think I will be keeping it, and I will talk you through why. So hopefully this review and comparison can help you decide if you're also between which size to get. But let's take a look at the handbag first. This is the size 28, which is the smaller one. I'm just gonna guess it's 28 centimeters this way, and I'm just gonna cut this out of the video if it's not true. But as you can see, this is very vintage inspired. I love the very minimal, sleek 90s look that it has, and this is actually an unlined tote as well, which I think is a little bit more typical for the Coach vintage styles. And this bag seems like it is set to be sort of the it bag of the season, at least if we are judging by social media. But even if it's not, or even if the trend dies down, I feel like the design is so classic that it has longevity far beyond just being a trend, which is something I really like in my handbags. And the look of it is definitely sort of more casual. I think it is the perfect bag to elevate your daily outfits. Very much a great daily handbag, I think, and you're just gonna have to choose the size you need depending on what your lifestyle says you need, I think. I'll show you everything that fits into this handbag as well, so you can kind of see, because it's a little bit deceptive. I actually do get quite a few things into this one. And as you can see, I have this dark brown shade here. I think this is called Maple. And then I got the other handbag in obviously black. It does also come in, I think, at least 2 other colors. I would not be surprised if they introduced more colors, just judging by how popular it has been so far. I just really wanted something that would be perfect for the autumn season that we are heading into, and also something that is quite versatile, which both of these colors are, obviously. The price difference between these two was way more than I thought it would be. This handbag I think was $325, and then the larger one was $495, which was definitely more than I would have expected or thought. I feel the smaller one is a pretty decent price. It's a little bit more of an investment for the larger one, but I always say get the one you will actually get the most wear out of, because cost per wear and all of that, you know. Don't choose the wrong size because you want to save money, but still a little bit surprising. They are pretty lightweight, I would say, because they are unlined, and that is also something you might want to consider, whether that is a little bit of a deal breaker for you. I definitely feel like my handbags that I pay more for, I do prefer them to be lined. I just think it's a little bit more of a luxurious experience to use, but it still feels really nice and high quality. The leather on this and the leather on the larger one, it feels exactly the same really. This one has just softened a little bit more, whereas this still has like a little bit of the stuffing in it, so you might want to consider that this is more the look they take on after a few weeks of slightly intensive wear. But the leather still has like a little bit of a structure to it. The base is reinforced both at the bottom and on the inside of the bag, so it's really nice and stiff, and the bag will stand on its own and keep its shape. And the handle here as well is quite stiff, so this also keeps its shape very well. On the inside you do have a side pocket. I think that's great for a phone, a card holder, things like that. And because the bag isn't lined, you can see the stitching, so the size of this pocket on the outside, and you also have a little snap closure button on that pocket if you want to use it. And the bag is obviously, it's open, but you do have a pretty strong magnet closure here, and I really love the way they have done these magnets. They have put a little bit of thought into it so you can't see it from the outside, and they've kind of covered it in leather, made it all pretty and nice, and I really like that. The inside also has a little ring on one side, which yeah, you can see that here. If you want to sort of clip on some keys or whatever, really. You also have a ring on the outside, and I'm not entirely sure what the function of that is supposed to be. It's only on one side. I have seen some people use like bag charms, and I do have this little chain, so I just wanted to see what it looks like. So like that. Oh, that's quite cute. I do like that. Ah, okay, I'm definitely gonna do that. I saw this on social media and I just figured I would try for the video, but it's a little bit noisy, so I'm just gonna take it off for now. So I think for this size, the layout is very good. I quite enjoy it. There's a lot of room for other things in the big spacious compartment, and then just like some essentials in the little side pocket if you want that. So the layout is the same in the large handbag here, just the pocket on the back is a little bit larger, and for me it's just such a big bag that I would have preferred a couple more small pockets, but obviously if you put that at the front you would also see the stitching, and I think that would kind of ruin the look a little bit to have that stitching on both sides. It does have a huge capacity though. Definitely great if you need a big laptop and you need a lot. You can even have like shoes in here or like some gym clothes if you need that as well. Definitely fitting a lunch in as well on top of all of that. So it is a very good size if you use a lot. As you can see, this isn't super wide, so it's still quite nice to have on the shoulder. I do think this is surprisingly comfortable for the size that it has. So if you're not opposed to having a slight sort of like a big black hole when it comes to your handbags, if you have sort of large items and you don't tend to lose things very easily in big handbags, I would not worry too much because there are so many other great things about this size. Also, one of the main reasons I really love this handbag is how comfortable it is, and obviously I have not stuffed the larger one with lots of things and carried it out, so I can't really speak too much to that. But for this smaller one, it just lies really comfortably on your shoulders. So I really hate when handbags are too wide and you end up walking like this. And even when I fill this up, it just lays so comfortably. So it looks like it has pretty much the same width on the strap on both of these, but it's still really nice and wide for something that is a little bit heavier, and it just is a very nice and comfortable shoulder strap. I would not feel worried about filling this up because I haven't carried it for a very long time. I can't really speak too much to the longevity of the handbag, but so far it has held up really well. The quality seems really nice, although the stitching is very sort of Coach-like. It's perfect, the glazing, all the details really. And the leather has, I think it was described as a slight sort of surface texture, and I think that is completely correct. It is a smoother leather, but it's not completely shiny smooth, so slight scratches I have a feeling will blend sort of into it a little bit. Deeper scratches will definitely be quite visible though. The corners here are quite sharp, as you can see, and that tends to create like a little bit of corner wear on handbags like this. I have none of it so far, and this is not a handbag I have babied whatsoever. I'm just not doing that for my daily handbags, but the leather does feel very nice. So there are a lot of things to really love when it comes to both of these handbags, really. One thing that you might want to consider though is obviously it is a little bit of an open tote because you just have the magnet in the middle here cinching it in. So you can see it does close it, but obviously it's not completely theft proof. The second thing to consider is obviously that it is unlined, which I feel like the pricing is still okay for this one, but the larger one being just about 500 and still unlined, I don't know, I feel a little bit like I really prefer my handbags to be lined, but it might not bother you, and I know that unlined handbags are quite trendy at the moment. Because I haven't used this, take it with a pinch of salt, but I fear it will be somewhat easy to kind of lose track of everything you own in this kind of handbag because it is so large. It's not only large, it is kind of narrow. So that is kind of my only concern, and definitely one of the main reasons I don't think I will be keeping this. It's just a touch too big, but I just feel like it's something that is much less of a problem in this size. It really hasn't been, but even then I group my small makeup things into a little makeup pouch and things like that, just to make it a little bit easier to actually find things in this bag and not just lose them, because it is deceptively spacious. Which, shall we just take a look at everything I fit into this bag? So first off, I have a water bottle that I figured I could show you how easily this fits into it. but as you can see, it completely disappears into the bag here. And you can also see here that the bottom is quite rigid. It's a glass bottle, so it's quite heavy, and the bottom is still sort of staying nice and flat. And then I also have an A5 agenda. So you can see it does fit, but it kind of peeks out a little bit, but it doesn't actually make it less comfortable to wear. And then I typically take a card holder at the side and my phone. So I have essentials and a couple of larger items. You do still have room left in this handbag. Definitely if you have some smaller sort of like makeup items. I also have a pair of sunglasses that I can definitely put into the bag. But I've also sort of been doing a lot of this just hanging them off the front like this. You do have more room, but it's not super wide. And I'm going to carry this bag out in a few minutes. So I'm just taking out my agenda, and then I am putting in a little makeup pouch. So you can see it fits very nicely in there as well. And I still have more room for a couple bits at the top here. You can definitely fit in, obviously, a large wallet. I can fit in, like I have a case for my microphone. That can also be the size of my camera. So you can see it's nice to kind of, you can definitely fit quite a few things in here. And I have also actually fit in a small laptop. I forget what size this is, so I am going to put that on the screen. But let me show you. So I have a small little laptop here, and I can sort of fit it in like this. It does peek out, but I have actually used this setup when I am taking this tiny one with me, and I can still fit it very comfortably over my arm, as you can see. So you can't fit absolutely everything, but I'm quite surprised at the amount of things you can actually fit into the bag. And the larger one here can fit a proper full-size laptop, which is great if you want to carry the laptop and the agenda and the makeup pouch and you know, some clothes and a lunch. So it's definitely better if you carry all of those things for work and you are looking for a work tote. Hopefully that is helpful. I'm not gonna sort of fill this with all of the things simply because I don't want to unwrap it properly, because if I am returning it, that just feels like a little bit wrong. And I think I am. And there are two reasons that I am pretty sure I am returning this handbag. First of all, as I mentioned, because it is like a little bit like a big black hole. I prefer a bit more organization in my big handbags. The second one is because of how it looks on me. So this handbag right here, I feel looks quite balanced on my frame. I say this in every video, a little bit on the shorter side. I am 160 centimeters or 5'2", 5'3", and this feels like a very, very good size. Whereas the larger one, I feel looks a little bit too big on me. Just the drop, it just hits quite low on my hip. I feel like it overwhelms me, and not in like a very chic way either. So it's totally up to you. I think you just need to see what you are comfortable with and what you feel suits you. For me, it feels just a bit too overwhelming, and I think it's because it's so long this way, where it just has, I just feel like it's not the most flattering on me when I put it on, which is a little bit annoying, but I think especially if you're a bit taller as well, this is going to look amazing. So that is just something to consider. Hopefully it's helpful to see both of these handbags sort of on a real person, side by side. As you can see, there is a significant size difference in these two, but neither is particularly wide, but you can see this one is definitely wider. So no wonder you can fit so much more into this handbag. And I would say if you don't need to carry a ton, I would probably recommend going for the smaller one. It's just such a great size. It's so comfortable, and honestly, regardless of which bag you get, I can so far at least really recommend it. It's beautiful. I feel like I got quality for the money. It's incredibly comfortable to wear. I feel like it adds a lot to my outfits without being too over the top. Just a great bag that I am very happy that I ended up buying. So hopefully you are a little wiser as to which size you should get if you are considering either of these bags. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'll try to answer as best I can. or you can just send me a DM over on Instagram. I love talking about handbags, so I'm always happy to get those. And if you have the bag yourself, or even if you don't, let me know what you think about it down in a comment below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you very shortly in the next video. Bye!